So, it's that time again for the wrestling show to take a very cynical look back at the NXT. So, let's go.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Lip really loves wrestling. He likes to talk about it too. If you like to watch wrestling like he do, come and join us on the wrestling show. On the wrestling show. On the wrestling show.
Well, welcome to the wrestling show. I'm your most fickle host, Lip Hazlewood, and this is a very cynical look back at representing the WWE and live from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. It's the NXT air date, September the 26th, 2023. This episode is The Road to No Mercy. It is a very massive show today with seven massive matches on the card tonight. But before we dive into the show, just a quick shout out to the non-competitors. That's right, the mortar that keeps the bricks held together. It's true. First and foremost, representing the authority figure, the man in charge. He is the man. It's Shawn Michaels. That's right. Next, getting all the backstage scoops and all the pre-match, interviews. We got ourselves a team of Mackenzie Mitchell and Kelly Kincaid. And of course, heading into the ring, it's the announcer, it's Alicia Taylor. And last but certainly not least, it's the commentary crew, the play-by-play guys, the hosts, and I even call them the narrators of the whole damn show. They are the team of, now he is a two-time Hall of Famer. No, that's right, a two-time Hall of Famer. The man with the champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Shucky ducky quack quack. It's a Booker T. And of course, backing up Booker T is he is a forever voice of reason. He is a very a great commentator of my own. He's in his own right. He's a good one, top one commentator, I gotta say. It's Vic Joseph. Now, without any further ado, let's get the show started on the go. Let's get the show on the go. Let's go. Then we start really big. This is the Global Heritage Invitational final. That's right, it's a finale of it, and it is representing the Brawling Brutes. It's a Butch. He's been through a lot in his career right now, and he's done absolutely zero growth on his character development. It's true. Butch just a stagnating kind of guy. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you gotta evolve with the times, y'all. Anyways, it's nothing about that. In his opponent today, why? Representing the Gallus boys. Like a bumblebee, it's Joe Coffey. And, escorting Joe Coffey to the ring, it's his brother, Marcus Coffey, and his tag team partner, Wolfgang. This match was about close to 13 minutes. That's right. It's about 12 minutes and 40 seconds. That's what I got. I got 12 minutes and 40 seconds, roughly. What happened in the match? Now, this match was a lot of back and forth. This was, I'd say, match of the night. I'm not a big fan of Butch. I'm not a big fan of Joe Coffey. Neither one of those, but they can put on a match. Joe Coffey, he's the little big man. Joe Coffey, in my mind, he is pretty much the Taz Jr. He's like modern day Taz. That's right. He's like the little guy who thinks he's like a large man. Anyways, enough with the, bashing of Joe Coffey. He's got a lot of attitude, just like Taz did. Okay, the match was back and forth, a lot of back and forth. Now, come to a point where now it is with Marcus and Wolfgang at the ringside. It is really a 3-on-1, and it's shown proof that Marcus gets a referee's attention when Butch is trying to put on a finishing move, trying to put it on a nice submission hold on Joe Coffey. Marcus Coffey gets the ref's attention, and then it's Wolfgang pulls Butch into a punch to the face. Now, Butch did get his revenge on the dynamic duo on the outside, Marcus and Wolfgang, with the eventually. But we got a moment in the match where I just laughed out loud. It was hilarious. What it was supposed to be, what had happened, was Joe Coffey. He goes off. He does a springboard maneuver off the corner ropes into a high cross. It's supposed to be a high cross body press. But even if nothing was happening, it just let the high cross just go in its natural conclusion, Joe Coffey would have landed far short of Butch. Far short, just landed on his face. But Butch, he's seen that happening, and he just gave him a punch to the face while he's going down under the ground. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Anyways, like I say, after that, Butch tries to get a nice submission hold on Joe Coffey, and that's where Marcus decided to make his move. He jumps on the apron there, calls over the referee. Referee, over here quickly! I got something for you. It's from Scotland. So really, do you have an extra shirt for me? Can I look like a bumblebee too? So they're having a conversation down there. Meanwhile, Wolfgang pulls down Butch and punches him right in the face. A sucker punch. But like I say, like I was saying earlier, Butch gets his revenge. Eventually gets revenge by a nice, a backflip off the second rope outside of the ring, crushing both. That's right, Wolfie and Marcus with the massive, like a mediocre moonsault, the double M, the mediocre moonsault by Pete Dunne, or did I say Butch? And then, of course, now this is early on in the match. The referee decides to eventually eject the two from the match. So it's now become a 1-on-1. So I figured, yeah, thank goodness for that, because this is where the match starts picking up and becoming very good. Very, competitive. Very competitive match. It was good. A competitive match. Now, Joe Coffey, he goes for his massive, they call it the Glasgow send-off, but really it's called the My Cousin Vinny. He jumps, he charges to the air like, I got you! With the double fist in the air, just like Danny DeVito is My Cousin Vinny. It was hilarious. It will always be a hilarious thing to watch. Joe Coffey does that to the T. And then, of course, he gets Butch with a massive, he does the spinning clothesline, the Natalia Bret Hart, they call it. The spinning, the discus lariat. Mm-hmm. So he gets that. And if Joe Coffey was a giant man, it would end you easy. But this is a big man move. This is like a Bradshaw move. Bradshaw can end you with that because he's a gigantic dude. And he can just knock your head right off. But if a smaller guy doing that, it just seems kind of weird. But anyways, these guys are about the same weight class, so it doesn't matter. But he doesn't get the pin. They take the fight outside, and this is where it goes all wrong for Joe Coffey because he does his best Otis impersonation. He goes head first into the steel steps. He runs and charges, and he goes head first in there. Charge, Geronimo! Whammo! Just like that. The fight goes back inside the ring, where it becomes the bitter end, the bitter end flatliner. It's basically a flatliner with this different setup. So basically, yeah, bitter end for Butch. Moving on to the No Mercy against Noam Dar. Now, of course, Noam Dar and the rest of Meta-4 were, in fact, watching the Heritage Cup, Global Heritage Invitational. This time, they're dressed up as, Ocean's team or something like that. I don't know. It's ridiculous. The only thing Meta-4 has been doing, I thought Meta-4, the whole team would be, they're more focused on dress-up rather than trying to take over the NXT. Hey, what kind of costumes do you think we should wear next week? Let's have some fun. You want to have some fun? How about start a improv group? and do something off the wrestling. You know, if you want to be a good wrestling team, you guys wrestle. The Metaphor has been doing nothing. If Noam Dar is doing nothing, the rest of Metaphor is doing nothing. It's sad because I figured Noam Dar could direct these new stars into a right direction of how improve themselves, grow. But regardless, enough of my bitching about the Metaphor. They're not doing anything today but watch, as their favorite, cosplaying people. Who cares? Next up, we go. Now this is hilarious. This is the Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. See? Now these two, they're the tag team champions. They're not there today, but they have this so edited sketch. This is it's a vignette type thing. This is so rehearsed. So it's funny because they're trying to find new tag team opponents. So they have the Tony D'Angelo's dinner set up, and then first team that comes in, it's the Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. And they got the tattoos they got. They went all out. Ivar's got the huge ass tattoo across his shoulder. It's like maybe 3 feet. A 3-foot tattoo across the shoulder. The same scars, except black and white, except black art. They got the realistic scars going on there. Started fresh by the Wolves. The Wolves had they painted the scars on their shoulder. I guess that is a good look. Everybody wants that look now. Not that the Wolves are around to use it anymore. Anyways, so this whole thing is Angel Garza and Humberto, and this whole skit there it's done so well. It's so edited. You can tell one thing for sure. No two tag teams were in there at the same time. So right now they have got the Angel family and then the Angel and Humberto having a conversation there, but they're done two separate days. It's wonderful of editing, the wonderful world of editing. Anyways, enough of that nonsense. At least we got to see the tag team champions in some respect, I suppose. It doesn't matter. Anyways, next match, it is a big one. It's Trick Williams versus Joe Gacy of the Schism. The Schism again. No one wants to be with Joe Gacy except for maybe Ava Raine. I can only imagine Ava Raine's going to be Joe Gacy for a short amount of time longer before she realizes that, you know what, I'm better off doing nothing. Just like Harlan did, and just like Rip Fuller and Jagger Reed. Well, you know what? They just can't handle this guy anymore. So it's either Joe Gacy or nothing. I guess it's nothing then. So yeah, this match here is Joe Gacy gonna beat Trick Williams? No, Joe Gacy. He's like from Four Roots and the Schism. What is that? It's nonsense now. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Joe Gacy. He looks like a potato. And the match, it was. How can I say? It was 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Yeah. At least when I may not like Joe Gacy personally, or professionally, but when Joe Gacy's not an idiot. He knows how to put a match together. He's not a terrible wrestler. Not a terrible wrestler. He was competent in the ring. But just like everybody else, they don't believe in the Joe Gacy thing. And perhaps sooner or later, Joe Gacy will... I'm just talking about Joe Gacy too much. So what happened in this match? It's really about Trick Williams. Trick Williams in this very short match. So what can he do? Why, it's... the whole match was this. It was Trick Williams getting his ass handed to him by Joe Gacy. Just wearing him down. Joe Gacy gets him to the corner, and this is the end of the match here, end sequence here. It was a short match, end sequence here. Joe Gacy squashing Trick Williams on the corner. Just give him a good old splashy poo. And then Joe Gacy decides, hey, it's time to set up my finisher. So he goes for the upside down, which is a hands. He does a handstand against the ropes, and he ends up with a clothesline, pretty much. So he goes for this upside down. He goes for his clothesline. He does his handstand. He charges towards Trick Williams. Well, Trick Williams gets. I think what it was supposed to be was a flying knee. I think that's what it was supposed to be. But what Trick Williams ended up doing was jumping into Joe Gacy. So he just jumped into him. I'm not sure what hit. He looks like his torso. Trick Williams hit Joe Gacy with his torso, It was just a nonsense thing. It happened fast. You just jumped up. Oh, they collided. When you look at it, it's like, what happened? What really happened? And he didn't happen, that's for sure. But Joe Gacy lies down like a good boy and loses. Yep, and after the match, it's we got ourselves a little bit of the Kelly Kincaid with their only appearance here. Talking about, so you won a match, how do you feel? How do you feel not that you won a match? I'm going to Disneyland! He didn't say that, because no one goes to Disneyland these days. So anyways, she asks her question. It's like, so what's your opinion on your best friend Carmelo Hayes? You think he has a chance against Dragunov? And Trick Williams is like, yeah, what? What are you talking about that for? I thought you were in here to talk about what I just did in a ring there with Dyjak. You know, he didn't say that at all. But he did say, why don't you talk about my match against Joe Gacy? You know, it was a great victory against him. A great victory. He didn't really say that either, but he did really say about the match. Why don't you talk about my match? But now that you want to know my opinion about, Carmelo Hayes and, Dragunov, it's like, you'll be a fool to bet against him. And when I say him, I mean my best friend, Carmelo Hayes, the champion. Okay, next up, we go backstage, and it's with a little bit of the Mackenzie Mitchell with Blair Davenport. And Blair talking about Gigi Dolan. It's like, you attacked me, and you didn't get the job done. It's like, well, you're not as vindictive or vicious as me. Now, it's funny, too, because she's upset about, being attacked. But she just completely forgets that she started the whole thing. She started the whole thing. I just think the only problem is Gigi she should have attacked on a bigger scale. But anyways, now the whole thing's like, watch me in the future, because I'll be showing you something. I'll be showing up, and you better see what I gotta say. Something like that, I don't know. So anyways, after that, we got ourselves a little bit of the Andre Chase and Duke Hudson worried about Thea Hale. What's going on with Thea Hale? So it's JC Jane introducing the new look Thea Hale, the outside the ring look, which is Thea just loves the black. She's going with the black leather, because she's a bad girl, and bad girls wear black leather. Mm-hmm. So she's out there, and I guess Chase is like, oh, you look great. You look great. Not quite like that. Not like Damien Priest. Anyways. So, yeah, it's like, you think that's great. You should check out her in-ring gear. No longer the you, baby. No you in her gear anymore. So, yeah, I guess Thea Hale is dropping out of Chase U. She's just a big old dropout out of this fake university. Okay, so next up, we got ourselves a match. It is the Baron Corbin, the Viking's funeral, the burning ship. That's how this Viking funeral, that's how they do it. So yeah, his career's in the NXT right now, and he's fighting part of them Denim boys, Josh Briggs. And with Josh Briggs is Brooks Jensen and Fallon Henley. And are they going to help Josh Briggs at all? No, because they're good guys. The good guys don't do anything like that. So this match here was almost, it was about 3 minutes. And now, Baron Corbin, he's got this big thing coming up with, what's that? Braun Breaker. So you can't have Baron Corbin losing. So this match here was a Baron Corbin match. Josh Briggs did his best work. Oh, it was terrible. Josh Briggs at least got a big bootin'. Got one big bootin'. Josh Briggs, he just comes in the street clothes straight up. He just looks like he's a carpenter as a trade worker. I'm a carpenter, I'm going to go to wrestle now. I'm just go to wrestling now, and you need gear. Nope, I'm just going to wear my carpentry clothes, like work boots, jeans, and a denim vest. Them denim boys. Did I ever call them them denim boys before? I think I did. Okay. So yeah, it gets hilarious because at a certain point at the end of the match, it's I guess Josh Briggs has got Baron Corbin at the corner. He's he's coming in for the kill, I suppose, and then Baron Corbin pulls in the ref. Referee he starts turtling up, on Baron Corbin's belly, and then Baron Corbin turns around and anyways winds up and punches Josh Briggs in the face. I guess the referee didn't see that shot, even though if he did, it wouldn't matter. Not illegal. But anyways, referee could have ended the match disqualifying Baron Corbin by touching him. Hey, you can't touch referee. That's a disqualification. You're disqualified. You're out of order. But nope. After that, it's Baron Corbin does one fantastic move. It's called the floppity marionette. The floppity marionette, where he goes off the second ropes and he launches himself all floppity in the air and towards Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs lands on the ground. Then it's a finished. It is the end of days, the flatliner. End of days flatliner. That's just right. 2 flatliners today. You know. But it is spells defeat for Mr. Josh Briggs. And after that, it's Baron Corbin calls out Braun Breaker. Because they got the big old match coming up at No Mercy. No Mercy. Where Braun Breaker will have no mercy on Baron Corbin. And that will be the official Viking funeral. So he comes out there and they start fighting. The officials come in and break it up. And then that's that with that. That's that with that. And after we see that, you know, the old, they're just hyping up their match, Braun Breaker and, you know, Baron Corbin. So after that, we got ourselves a Trick Williams. He's fresh off his victory off of Joe Gacy. And he goes to Shawn Michaels' office. So yeah, he got some ideas. He got some plans for himself. Moving on. We go into the ring with a tag team match. And unlike your traditional tag team matches in the NXT, this one was rubbish. Tag ropes, doesn't matter. Does ref matter to care if they use tag ropes or not? Doesn't care. Doesn't give two poops. Now, who was in this, I guess, garbage fire, dumpster fire of a tag match? Why, it was the team of Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Hank and Tank. Versus the team of Bronco, Nima, and Lucien Prince. And they are brought to the ring by their spokesperson, for some reason, is Reginald Scripps. Reginald Scripps. You know, it's like, why? Why do you guys need Scripps in your team for? I mean, really. It makes no sense at all. Bronco, Nima, and Lucien, they're 2 gigantic dudes. They're giants for sure. They can handle themselves, and I think, I don't know. I think they can do them on their own. You know, they just need some good, bookings and some good writing team, and they get them forward there. You know. But anyways, this match was not surprising. This match was under 3 minutes. Under 3 minutes. Tag ropes, like I say, didn't matter. You know, I guess Hank and Tank had a couple of good workings together. Some good teamwork. Like I say. When Lucien Prince is in there, or what's that, Bronco, they just look so huge. I mean, Tank and Hank, they're big guys, but compared to these guys, they look like cruiserweights. It's true, it's crazy. Hank Walker gets, I believe, Lucien with a massive pump kick to the face. Now it gets all funny at the end part there. I guess Lucien and Bronco need some help. Because it's Tank Ledger. He has Lucien Prince up there for a nice power slam. I guess he's going to do a combo move with Hank Walker when, Reginald Scripps comes up there onto the ring apron there. Gets Hank's attention. He goes down there to deal with that. The referees make sure that he's got his attention is taken with Hank and Scripps. You know, and then that's when the double team happens. Instead of Hank and Tank double teaming, it's Lucien Price with the big super kick to the face of Hank Walker. After that, I believe it's Lucien Price pushes. I think I'm getting all the names all mixed up here, but anyway, Bronco Nima with a big kick onto Hank. Lucien Price then pushes Hank into Tank into Hank. Hank falls off the ring there, and then becomes a big finishing move, which is nonsense. The finishing move of they're called themselves the out the mud. So O.T.M is Bronco, Nima, and Lucien Prince. That's what they call themselves. And I believe their finishing move is called Mud Butt. The Mud Butt. That's right. Don't ask me why they called it that, but the Mud Butt is it. It's so dumb. It's an assisted Alabama slam. So Lucien Price picks up Tank Ledger, I should say, picks up Tank Ledger, and then it's Bronco Nima intercepts him and then gives him the old Alabama slam. It is nonsense. I mean, you don't need two people to do that. I mean, they might as well just have two people on either side of his leg and just slam him down. A double, it's whatever. They're still new. They're trying to think what's cool, and they have a really bad influence there. It's Reginald Scripps giving them some advice, you know? Hey, I was in the cirque. I can do acrobats, and you can do wrestling too with acrobats. I don't know. It's nonsense. Anyways, after that, we got ourselves a glimpse of the most sexiest woman in all of NXT. It's a Gigi Dolan doing some working out, some back work with a rubber band. And then the lights go out, and she gets knocked on the head because she gets beaten up by a little bit of the Blair Davenport. That's right. You don't attack me. No one attacks me. So, yep. Gigi. I guess she can't fight tonight because she's injured. Okay, so now we go back to the sket, the sket with Tony D'Angelo in his dinner party, and he's already has he's Tony Stax Lorenzo's there, and Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza is still there. And then we got ourselves our next tag team joins him. It is the Creed brothers, Brutus and Julius Creed. Now this is where it gets even better. The editing is just top notch because these three teams they're not in the same room at the same time. This one here, every team, it is just nicely edited together. This is a professional job. You can't see a single camera, even though there's dozens of camera angles. You can't see a single one. Yeah, it is a master filmmaking right here. This is filmmaking at its best. And they're basically just trying to find Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stax Lorenzo are trying to find their next opponent. It's been a long time since these two has had a title defense. Anyways, moving on next, we go backstage, and it's we got ourselves. It's supposed to be a triple threat match for the number one contendership for the North American Championship from Dominic Mysterio, and this is where we go backstage and find that Axiom has talked to Tyler Bate about that very fight that they're both looking forward to moving on and having this opportunity. And then it's Trick Williams. He's got some news. He got himself in. He wedged himself into this match too. No, not just it's a triple threat match. It's become a fatal four-way match. And he figured he should let everybody know what's going to happen. At least two of the three. Two of the three will know. So Trick Williams going to have a two-for night. 2 matches in one night. So after that, we got ourselves a little bit of a one-on-one match. This is Baron Corbin and it's Eddie Thorpe versus Dyjak in a strap match. Now with Eddie Thorpe, he brought his family, La Family. So he brought his daughter, his mama, his brother or something like that. I don't know. He got a family there. And they all get strapped up. And this match here was a lot of fun. Because it wasn't really a wrestling match. It was just a strap match. So they fight outside there. Right now, of course, they have to have that. Where you're taken in front of your family and whipped like a dog in front of your family. You're like, no, why? And his daughters are crying. And, no, you sucky poo. Yeah, it had his big moment out there. You got to have this torturous moment. Only to make the victory seem so chef's kiss. So they take the match back into the ring there. Dyjak thinks he's got this match in the bag, and he takes off his very belt. The belt, Dyjak's belt he wore that day, surprisingly, was the same belt he used to whip the tree. It was Eddie Thorpe's favorite tree. He stripped like a tiny piece of bark off that tree with this belt. Oh, that tree. I think that tree's got PTSD. You don't like a tree with PTSD, baby. Anyway, so he gets a belt. He wraps it on his fist. Like last time, he used that belt and punched, Eddie Thorpe in the face to win the match. This time, he tries to do the same thing. But this time, Eddie Thorpe is just much faster. Somehow, Eddie Thorpe turns things around by using that strap as a whip, just like Dyjak did, and start whipping Dyjak like a dog, like a government mule, like a government mule. So yeah. So he turns things around, and then Dyjak is down there for the count, really, and then Dyjak drops his belt. Eddie Thorpe picks up the Dyjak white belt and punches Dyjak right in the face. Here you go, buddy, for you, for you! Punches him in the face, and then finishes it off by going to the second rope, the very second rope. I'm thinking, there's nothing wrong with going off the second rope, as long as you get as much height as you can, and this is what happened. Eddie Thorpe goes on the second rope and jumps as high as he can. He got some good height. To do his the running man elbow drop. He does the running man elbow. He does a running man elbow in here. He does a run in the air. It looks hilarious. It looks like the Wile E. Coyote falling off a cliff. So he does the elbow drop, and that's it. It's it. 1, 2, 3. Over. Then after the match, the celebration happens, and that's where Dyjak gets his moral victory. He does not only he rips Eddie Thorpe off the top rope, gives him the old go to sleep, the Dyjak one, and then he puts him on the other side of the the corner post, the ropes there, and kicks him in the face, hangs Eddie Thorpe from the top rope, and then uses him as a whipping post, where he whips him good in front of his family, whips him real good. So yeah, this feud is not over. Will it end in a steel cage match? Probably some sort of last man standing match. It's not over between Dyjak and Eddie Thorpe. The rubber match will continue. Is it exciting? I don't know. But it's happening. At least it's they're keeping occupado. Next up, we got ourselves the message. That's right. We've been all been waiting for, apparently. It's Blair Davenport going down to the ring area and giving Gigi Dolan a warning. There can only be one sexy woman. You can't be it. I don't know. She didn't really say that. But she's upset with her because I guess no one is hardcore as Blair Davenport. She's looking to, next time it's over. Next up, we go to our next match. It is, what is that? Danny Palmer versus Thea Hale. The new look, Thea Hale. Yes, Thea Hale. She's going with. She still looks great. Thea Hale. She has great ring gear. She's using more. Obviously, she's doing black leather or black. Neoprene or leather, whatever. It's black, and it's. She looks good in it. She's like. I guess she's going for the more adult look. I'm not sure what because Thea Hale's Chase U ring gear didn't make her look like a kid. She looked great in there. But anyways. Thea Hale versus Danny Palmer. This match here was tough. Was tough to say the least. It was just over 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, roughly. 2 minutes and 20 seconds of Danny. We had to move here. It was a lot of chain wrestling. Solid chain wrestling. Not a beginning style wrestling. And we got this one weird thing. Danny Palmer. I guess she's a gymnast. So she has this move where she does this. I'm not sure. Dakota Kai would call this a scorpion kick. But she does this. She literally does a handstand in front of Thea Hale. I guess she's supposed to do a handstand, a mule kick. I'm not sure, but it looked dumb. It looked bad. I'm not sure what it was supposed to be done, but it's supposed to be some sort of athletic move that just did not hit the spot. Good intentions, at least. And then came the big move. Danny Palmer, her big move. Beautiful move. I believe it's a Phoenix Splash off the top rope. This is a great finisher. But however, she hit nothing. She rolled through it, And then Thea Hale, her one offensive move, she jumps on to, latches herself onto Danny Palmer and pulls her down with the Kimura. the Kimura arm lock, and then tap 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 later, it's over. Thea Hale with a big victory. Watching on, it's what's left of Chase U. I think they're pretty much given up on Chase U. They're pretty much doing not much. So I think they've lost Thea Hale for good. She's leaving on a train to JC Jane land. She wants to be a woman. Girl, you'll be a woman now. Anyways, next up we go backstage behind in the locker room area. Trick Williams got some good news about, getting himself into a fatal 4-way match. But it's Carmelo Hayes. He's too busy. He's really busy. He's got things to do, people to text. So yeah, I guess Carmelo Hayes is not truly appreciating, Trick Williams' accomplishments. But who knows? Next up, we go backstage there. It's Baron Corbin deciding to hit the bricks early. And then that's when it's the attack. It's Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, they're just building up their big old fight at the, No Mercy. Officials there instantly to break them up. And we move on. We move on to the ring to the a fatal 4-way match for the number 1 contendership to the North American title at No Mercy versus the man himself, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Now this one here is Dragon Lee getting another chance at North American title. Then it's Dragon Lee versus Tyler Bate, and the versus Trick Williams, and Trick Williams versus Axiom. Now this match was 11 minutes long. It's a lot of fun. This truly was a wrestling stunt show, wrestling stunt show. We had Tyler Bate with a massive high cross, like a slingshot high cross over the top rope. Hitting Trick Williams out there. Beautiful, beautiful tope high cross. Then we got some funny things where they all start trying to get a finisher on each other. So it's Dragon Lee. He's got this Boston Crab put on. And then it's, Tyler Bate trying to put on the old arm lock. And then it's Axiom. He jumps on the back of Trick Williams for a rear naked choke. It's hilarious. But then here we go. We got a problem in this match here. Axiom goes for a half and half. A suplex. I'm not sure what happened. Axiom, he goes down. He crouches down and pulls backwards. There's no backup. There's no up and down. He goes down and pulls back. I'm like, what is that? I mean, Axiom, come on now. And what happened with this? Tyler Bate. He goes flying backwards. He can't pop his hips. There's no pop in their hips there. Tyler Bate does his best, but he lands high in his head, high in his shoulders and his head. And this could literally be, this could be bad. Whiplash, this could be bad. This could be a serious injury here. And it's because of Axiom and his lazy wrestling move. What the hell was that? You got to think through these moves. You just can't rush these damn moves. This, of course, you really want to hurt your opponent. Really, Axiom? Really. Anyways, Tyler Bate, he's okay. He pulls through. At least his adrenaline pulls through. So then he gets his tandem move. He gets, Dragon Lee on his shoulders for an airplane spin. And he gets Axiom for a seismic toss. The giant swing. It was hilarious. So he throws him all around. Because after all, he's big, strong boy. Tyler Bate, big, strong boy. So he had to prove it. But it gets crazy. It's Axiom doing all the big moves, whether it hits or misses. He's going all around the world. They call it the Canadian Driver. No longer the Destroyer, the Canadian Driver. It's the somersault pile driver. That, and then the Spanish Fly off the top rope. Axiom visiting a lot of parts of the world with his moves. Now, the end sequence was very, very silly. Very silly at all, totally. Now, after that, Dragon Lee, he manages to get sliced bread onto Axiom. Just crushes him down there. Trick Williams pulls off the Dragon Lee from the pin. Dragon Lee, this is where I like to call the sequence called Where Heads Meet. Where Heads Meet. which is a ridiculous thing. So Axiom decides to thrust his head into Trick Williams' head. And apparently Trick Williams got one hard head. He gets hit in the head, and that's where the heads start colliding, blumping together. That's one head hit. I guess Dragon Lee, he gets knocked unconscious. He just drops outside the ring there. Trick Williams, he gets knocked backwards for a loop. And then, lo and behold, it's Tyler Bate behind Trick Williams. And then their heads collide. Tyler Bate falls off the apron. And then Trick Williams falls flat on top of, Axiom. That's true. So yeah, treating Axiom like a kid or something like that. It's Trick Williams with a big victory. So yeah, moving on to fight Dominic Mysterio is Trick Williams. So it's going to be interesting. Will Trick win? I don't know. It's possibly. I think Trick could possibly win after all. Dominic Mysterio. There are some huge storylines that can go if he doesn't have the melt. Dominic Mysterio is still young. He can, regardless. I'm not sure who's going to win that. They both have potential. Dominic Mysterio. He's a pretty good champion. I'd say he's pretty good. His last match was a clean win, which was surprising against Dragon Lee. So after that was the last match of the night. But now we just have some filler stuff. We got ourselves Tony D'Angelo's, next level production and editing dinner party, and finally we got ourselves a little bit of, with, of course, Tony D'Angelo and Stax Lorenzo. We got Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, and Brutus and Julius Creed, the Creed brothers there. And then we got ourselves Bronco, Nima, and Lucien Price joining the little dinner party with Reginald Scripps at their side. It is hilarious because you totally can tell that they recorded their parts all separately, and masterfully they edited everything together. So it looks like they could possibly be in the same room together, but they're not. So it was a movie. It's movie magic. This whole segment was movie magic. And that's basically it. But what transpired from this is going to be a fatal four-way. That's right. So, I guess a full belly makes you think kind of weird, think you can take on the world. So I guess the Angel family would be taking on 3 teams, the entire tag division. Except for, of course, the Gallus boys. They're not part of that one. Next up, we got ourselves backstage. It's with Mackenzie Mitchell with Dominic Mysterio. And now that he knows he's going to have to be fighting Trick, he's going to say, well, I'd say just one thing. He's just going to have to whoop that Trick. Because that's funny, because everybody's saying every time Trick Williams is fighting, he has to whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. Why do people want Trick Williams' ass to get whooped? It's ridiculous. So Dominic Mysterio is going to do what everybody wants. That Trick Williams' ass get whooped. Whoop that Trick. That's what Dominic Mysterio is going to do. And he says, I'm going to whoop that Trick just like I whooped Dragon Lee's ass. He was hilarious. Dominic Mysterio. He's getting so confident. There's nothing but good things in Dominic Mysterio's future. Nothing. He's looking good, looking sharp. Anyways, after that, Dragon Lee here's like, what? You whoop my ass? That's it. He gets so angry. Dragon Lee attacks Dominic Mysterio. Can you believe it? I think he wants part of this whole, what's that? No Mercy thing. If you think it's going to be a triple threat to No Mercy, I don't think Dominic Mysterio will do that. And then we go backstage. It's Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes meeting up there. And, Carmelo's got this thing. He's got his contract signing to do. And Trick is like, I guess there's a lot of kudos, congratulations. But, hey, we can both be champions. We can both be walking out of No Mercy as champions. The Trick Mello game is strong. For now. And then we go into the ring with the old contract signing, Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, Dragunov. With, I guess, the best he can do. He's like basically saying, you're the wrong man for that championship. I'm thinking, oh my goodness. Is that what I think you're trying to say? He's not white enough for the championship? Shame on you, Dragunov. Shame on you. And maybe me for assuming that. He said that. But anyways, he did say, you're not you're the wrong man for that championship. But you know what? It's not really about that. And the whole thing is like, who really won at Great American Bash because of Dragunov jumping into the belt? Bang! That Trick Williams is carrying. Anyways, Carmelo's like, you know what? He says the facts here. Dragunov, you are in fact good enough to become the NXT champion, but however, you're not better than me. You're not better than I am. So you're not going to become the belt champion over me. So it's a lot of good stuff there. A lot of fun stuff there. They end up going face to face, so it's going to be big. But we find out something else too before this is over. Not just the fact that these guys are going to go out at No Mercy, but also the match between Dominic Mysterio and Trick Williams. Trick Williams will have a special guest referee, and that will be Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee will be the special guest referee here. So I'm thinking, could possibly do this. Now, Dragon Lee could be a crooked referee. Maybe ensure that Dominic Mysterio wins it. So then Dragon Lee can say that, oh, yes, I wanted you to win so I can beat you to get this belt. Screwing over Trick Williams because his personal ego. But anyways, yeah, Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, that is going to be one hell of a match, But I think just like the results of the feud between Dragunov and at the time Walter, now Gunther, eventually Dragunov beat Walter to become the NXT UK champion. I think the possibility of a belt change is very good. Dragunov most likely will become the next NXT champion. I don't like it, but it is a possibility and it's really good. But anyways, that does wrap it up for this week's episode of the NXT. But for our podcast listeners, stay tuned for a SmackDown. We'll be right after this break. But for our YouTube audience, this is it for today's show. Join us again another time on The Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Lip Hazlewood. Again, see you another time.